Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers. And I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite creator. And I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the healing, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And with that, I say a hearty hello. Um, it is Saturday afternoon. I think the 23rd of January, 2021. And we got a good rain yesterday. And I've been wanting to do an update of what the porch looks like and what I've been doing here for the my porch slash um, I can't think of the word right now. Hey, how are you? Um, my greenhouse. Yeah. There you go. Greenhouse. I'll think of it. But I had a chance the other day before it rained. I got out here and I had a couple of hours spurt of energy, and I have since don't know if you saw my sort of last videos, but this is my floor as it is right now. Let's see. So this is hardened. Whoop. It's hardened up. This thing's backwards. But anyway, um, this part of the porch is nice and hard to the corner and my doorway and my false door right there to give me a sense of where in and out is. But then this is my next section where the concrete ends, and I've been leveling the ground and laying out my other concrete block so that as I get these leveled to the rest of this floor that's already set, then I can pour the concrete and make this thing one big giant mess instead of the way it looks right now. But over here in this, let's see, back up here in the back, along this foundation, I'm kind of sort of at a quandary because I checked where this bottom block is over here. You can't really see it very good, and I got a short cord. But those blocks are going to have to be knocked out because this is going to be open to the rest of the house. It's been this little jab. It was an idea that it was supposed to be a bay window, and it was way too small, uncomfortable, and wasn't really good for nothing. Ooh, sunshine. Ooh, wonderful. I can see that there's folks on. Hi, y'all, but I can't read it because of the sun coming in, especially now. But I just wanted to, come out here and say, well, we're kind of over the storm, I guess you'd say, in that we had rain. But I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, there's just some really strange energy going on right now. And I don't mean just here at the Hermitage, I mean, just in general, there's some strangeness going on. So, as my duty as a watchman is to look and stuff at other things and some of the stuff I don't really want to look at, it's like, oh, holy crap. But I realized too, it's like, so what is needed when there's really strange energy going on? Sometimes rather than meditate on what it might be or where it could be coming from or anything like that, you actually find yourself a distraction. So that's sort of the weirdness of the title of this video. But down here at the little old Clockney River Hermitage, it was just a little too long to type in the thing. So River Hermitage is the shortcut. But it turned out to be, it's fairly decently warm. The sun's trying to peek through the clouds and all. We've had 2 days of really kind of sort of dreary. Yesterday we had rain and the ditch was filled with a little bit of water. We had about an inch of rain in 48 hours. But anyway, So it kind of held me up from wanting to, finish out here some more. And I got just a few bags of concrete, so I'm gonna have to make a trip to town. But anyway, with the energies and stuff going on, I was like, there's nothing I want to watch or listen to. No offense to anybody, but there's all this energy and all this confusion and all this stuff. And so I asked my creator guys up there to say, okay, what do I need? And they said, you need a distraction. And I was like, what? Yeah, you need a distraction. Set up your little table here, and put the camera on and come out here to the porch. And, I've been tinkering this morning trying to get my old bones back. I hate getting old, I tell you, but, so I'm out here I'm having coffee. So hi, Bob. Hi, everybody that's in the chat. Let me see if I can read. There's a little bit of shade. Teresa, Candy Apple, Loretta, if I've missed anybody, I can't read much of what you're saying because the screen's so light. But anyway, greetings, everybody. And so, anyway, I just wanted to sort of share the battery on this thing doesn't last too long. So, if Michelle comes on, it's not going to be 4 hours. But I wanted to sort of give a little bit of update, also have a little bit of discussion about some of this weird energy that's going around. I think that in a lot of ways, many of us were deceived, or we feel that we've been deceived. And I think that there's so much going on so many levels, we ain't got a clue. And I think the other folks, different sides of different things, I think everybody's been deceived at some point. Duggar's having a ball out here. He wouldn't even go outside yesterday, and now it's like, so he's running around over here in the yard. We've been playing a little bit of kickball, but he's a whole lot more adept at kickball than I am, just saying. But anyway, so I thought to myself, well, I don't know. I feel a little grumpy. It's rained the last 2 days. Well, I don't know, blah, 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 So um, for those who think that, I don't have, I live every day in an om and peace, that is true up to a point. But I'm still also a human being. I still have emotions that tie to different things, and so it's not, thank God. But, years ago, I would have been in a fetal position and crying and all this ain't there anymore, right? So I have made progress, but my feelings and things, I'm still affected, but I have better control of them now. That's basically, the winning solution of this. And some people say, well, you get rid of all those feelings. No. Well, you hide them. No. I put them in the right context and realize I'm the person in control of what's supposed to be going on in here. It's supposed to be, right? So today it was like, man, part of me just wanted to curl up, and I was like, oh no, we ain't going there because of this. It's not my energy. It's not here at the house energy, but it's out there. And I think it's palpable to a lot of people. Certain people are turning on themselves. It's like, what? It's been 3 days kind of thing, magical threes, right? But, it's just so strange how the energy is, united, ununited, this, I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that. Because this video and this little conversation and this little joining of everybody is to say, listen, we know this shit's going on. We know it has been going on all my life. They shot JFK in front of everybody. I remember that, So the idea, though, that, the game's going to change or somehow, but not to be of the hopium type, but if there were no hope, then why exist? So of course I have hope. For what? I'm not quite sure. And I think that's part of the reason there's all this weird energy out there. So some would say, well, Dave, you gave up hope. And I'm like, mm-mm. So yesterday evening, I got a drive down by my neighbor just up here, but it was mist and rain and everything. He drove down. Could have called me, I'd have walked up. But anyway, he was so polite and brought me. The mailman didn't put my mail in my mailbox, wouldn't come down the driveway. We must have a new mail person. And so they dropped off my package at my neighbor's. But now here's the thing, I didn't order anything. And I'm like, so what's coming to me? So I don't know if it can be seen, but these are silver feathers, as two feathers. This absolutely wonderful crystal. You see how big it is to my hand? I mean, this is a big crystal. And I got some sage as a present. Now I'm going to do a separate video in case John watches this, or, I kind of feel he's sneaking in the background. And John, if you're watching this, I love you. Come see me. I don't care what time of day or night it is. Wake me up if I'm asleep, if it's in the middle of the day or not. But anyway, my adopted grandson, I call him Big John because he's a big fella, really. And but I've talked about him a couple of times in videos in the past, that he literally stayed here his graduation year from high school and took care of me and kept me from literally losing my mind. And he kept an eye on me. That was during the time I was having all those seizures. Now, I haven't personally seen John in a while, and he knows where I live. I haven't moved or anything. But the fact that my prayers have been going out to John, as well as everyone else, but there's, that special little prayer. I hope I hope Creator's watching out for him. I hope he's understanding, So way back when I would do ceremony with him, he would ask me, Pops, show me how to do this. Show me how to, to get connected. So we'd go out back and we did some, simple ceremonies, a little sage, a little prayer, a little tobacco, and, and just to give honor to the universe. It's not real. Well, it's not a ritual. It's a ceremony. But anyway, you're giving honor to the Creator and to the Mother Earth and to the universe, before you ever start about, what I want. So, but those types of things that John and I were doing back then, it was not about any particular thing. It was to help him, Creator, show me what I need to know, enlighten me, show me what I need to know. Not what but what he, or what, So if we're sitting around a fire and we're meditating, and say I'm the, I hate to say leader, but I'm the camp counselor, okay? So I may be leading the drum or a chant or something like that. And I have started the fire. I have been there. Okay, I'm the shaman in training. I'm the senior member of the shamans in training, okay? So we're sitting around the fire, and the whole purpose of this, ceremony that I've got in my head is that we're all going to ask Creator to enter us and show us what we individually need to know. So what I get out of the fire and the meditation and the ceremony is not what anybody else gets, okay? And the ceremonies that I've done with other people, this person had this, and this person had that, and this one had that, and this, out of, 15 people, there were maybe a little bit of similarities, but everybody got their own opinion, their own spiritual message out of it. Okay, it wasn't a group. Everybody got the same thing. Everyone was filled with the Spirit. What they wished and how they wanted to connect with Spirit happened. So with that said, they were fulfilled in what they wanted. And some folks called me a week or so later, and they were going, some of this stuff's still unfolding. And I was like, that's how it comes. You get this blast of holy crap. And then over a period of a week, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 or 3 years, who knows? But that incident will come back. And so, I'm relying on some of the incidents I say incidents, but ceremonies, different things, the incidents in my past of having like a prayer meeting or whatever, group meeting, group hug, group fire, and everyone having a different opinion of it. So, but with my friend Big John, and I say he's my adopted grandson because his grandmother, I was married to his mom. I mean, I was married to his grandmother. Okay, so um, third wife, I think, but anyway. And Bobby Jean was here when I first bought the property, and there weren't any trees here. There wasn't even a shed. And she remembers running through the woods and going down to the creek and going swimming and all that kind of stuff. And I say blessings and prayers to them all the time, as well as other folks too. But they're sort of my extended family that's a little weirded out by me. And for whatever reason, John's a little intimidated. But here's the thing, my friend, Big John. Never feel that you are intimidated or that you're ashamed of something. Never, ever, especially with me. And so, what you need, if for folks who need this, the Hermitage, if you will, that's why I'm sort of doing an outside kind of deal, showing you the porch and what I've been working on, and that kind of thing. Because I think it's important to share, the place, and it got overridden and over crazy and you crowded. There's too many trees up here on the hill. And I'm gonna have to cut a couple of these pine trees down before they get any bigger. But, just walking around and doing stuff, I realized that, nature keeps going regardless. And, so with nature, I continue to try to connect and be with nature, thus this porch here. And there are a couple more of you in here, so I'll do another pan around the porch since other folks are here. I want to welcome you this Saturday afternoon. So there's my let me stand up here. This is sort of the finished side at the moment. I got a final layer to go over the top. So you're saying, well, those brick or block are sticking up. Yeah, on purpose, because I'm going to go put a finish coat on top of all that. Now, this is what the outside's going to be. This pile of brick that's right there is going to be unpiled. I had a lot of stuff that was out there by that pile on the ground, and I have since moved everything this direction. And a lot of this dirt and stuff that's there is going to be backfilled back into this hole. But I'm going to put the brick all the way down it and finish it on the outside with brick. And then this here, I've got mostly leveled. You can see back there in the back that I still got some dirt to remove, and how much of a hill I have to dig out in order for the floor to be level. So that dirt's going to be used as backfill as I put the brick in. So, and I'm almost to the point. Sorry about the jiggling and the noise. But I'm almost to the point where, ooh, that's a little better. I'm thankful for the sunlight. But so from where I'm looking here, let me disrupt you a little bit more. So this is my view sitting here where this is the corner of the house. And that's going to be one big window. And then 1, 2, 3 windows all the way down. So there's going to be glass all the way up to the ceiling. But so this tree here that I had to cut down, and it's still piled up around, and I've got another tree that I had to cut down. I'm still burning that wood. And this tree here, where this one is coming around, that's got to be cut down. So it's opened up my southern exposure to the sky. So I'm going to get a lot of good sunshine, like I'm kind of sort of getting right now. So even at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30, something like that, see, there's still sunlight coming in where this porch is going to be. See, so I'm going to get sunlight as well as the solar gain from the positioning of the porch And so sitting out here like right now, it's going to be really well lit up with all this glass. And now in the summertime, this one tree over here, it'll be shaded. There's big trees, and the sun comes up straight overhead. So there's going to be lots of sunlight, but very little sunshine. Only in the very early morning, and there's a bunch of pine trees and everything like that. So it won't heat up in the summertime, but because the sun is lower in the sky, I'll at it's about 9:30 or 10 when the sun clears these pine trees up there, and I'm seriously thinking about taking two of them down because it's amazing how much they block the sun. And since I've been doing all this other stuff, um, my friend Rob could possibly use one or two of those pine trees. He's got a sawmill, well, it's portable, but he's got it set up, So he's got a sawmill at the house, and anytime he can get some good trees and cut them up for boards, he does so. So he was here the other day and brought me some fish. So as part of this blessing to me, like, oh, I could be all depressed and oh, there's all this weird energy. Well, Mr. Rob brought me several really good, I mean, big as my hand perch and a couple of bass, and said, here, I was fishing, he was fishing in a local pond lake nearby. He's, don't tell him the name. And I was like, okay. So, but, he drops by and brings me fresh fish. So then and then later on, I get the gift of the two feathers, silver two feathers, silver more than gold for me. And then this beautiful crystal from Big John Flowers. Thank you. I love you, dearly, my brother. Come see me. But here's the thing. In all my prayers and worries, if you will, about how he's doing, how his life is going, we all go through turmoil. We all go through things, right? And so as a young man, issues and possible divorce, or it has been a divorce. So, and been there, done that myself too many times, right? So I guess I finally had enough of that. But the idea, though, that he, out of the blue, to me, he sends me these prayers. He sends me a crystal. He sends me two feathers because he understands the meaning of that, because of the bond and so forth we had with our, although there weren't many ceremonies, we shared them. So in my prayer, with John is, don't lose contact, my brother. Stay, keep the faith. And he knows I'm always here. So I get these presents. Some of there were three things of sage, the crystal, and the two feathers. So I think to myself, there are times when you don't know whether or not anybody's still listening out there in the universe, meaning, whether or not they listen to this video or they've called me up or whatever. But I mean, so my prayers to individuals that I dearly love and who I've had a personal contact and impact with, I guess, because he impacted my life as much or more if than what he may consider that I may do for him. But the fact that he's still listening, the fact that he still understands I'm here, whether he comes here physically or not, he knows. And you better, John, if you're watching this on the sly, which is okay, but you could call me, damn it. I live in the same county, for God's sake. So, it's a 20-minute drive. But anyway, um, but to the point, though, he sends me these gifts for me, just like out of nowhere, So whatever is going on, I thank you, John. Thank you, Creator. Thank you to the universe. I thanks for the fish that came, a few hours before I got the other gifts. And I'm like, I'm just kind of sitting here minding my own business in so many ways. And blessings literally come down the driveway, things that I don't expect. And I'm so grateful for that. Please understand that. But I was like, I didn't need the fish, but I was grateful. I didn't know that I needed this beautiful crystal, but it's like, well, maybe I did. And the extra sage is always a blessing, but the fact that a personal item of two feathers sent to honor me and my name, and he understands what that means. That that is like, wow, dude. You know what I mean? So because I give to the universe without expecting anything in return. But when things do return and when things come back to you in ways that I really did not expect, that just makes the blessing even better. You know what I mean? So thank you, John. Thank you, John. John Flowers. And I feel that his heart has been in turmoil, and I'm still praying. But here's the thing: because of the gifts that came to me, I understand that we're still kind of connected. So I keep hope, when in all the doom and gloom and all the strange energies and all this stuff, there's these little patches of hope, if you will, that because my greatest hope was that he was still at least, paying attention, not necessarily paying attention to me, but paying attention to what was taught. And so I am very humbled by all this. I was going to do a video last night and I couldn't find the words. So I was like, I'm just going to, never mind. I'll do this later, but I'm here this afternoon and just wanting to hang out. Now the sun's out and I can barely see who's in the chat room. So I'm going to put my glasses on and squint because of the light on the screen, etc. You all know what I mean. Slightly slanted. How you doing? Loretta, Pappy, Two Bears. Hey, the field of plenty is always full of ripening blessings that are waiting to be harvested by those who tend their spiritual gardens. Yep. I'm a basket case. I got a pret to plow. And Loretta, if I'll probably have to catch up. Got a call from my kids arguing about what's going to happen in the future. Yeah, Loretta, if you're still listening, don't argue. Have a discussion, because that's part of the reason why I was like, wanting to do something, but I didn't want to, call attention to anything. We've all seen the weirdness. It's really freaking weird. So I was thinking to myself, in 1968, I was in high school, Tampa Catholic, and was very much a part of the political scene at the time as we could, but that the teachers at Tampa Catholic, especially those, I mean, in civics class and that kind of thing, was very much a part of our homework assignments. So, and especially after Robert Kennedy got murdered in the kitchen there. And of course, it was after MLK. It was really close together. So there were people, you talk about strange times. And so this time, as my meditations earlier today, before I got my coffee, and thank you, Bob, by the way, was that, the closest I can come to the feelings that this is, and of course I was much younger then, of course, but in 1968, after the election of Richard Nixon, who was like, war, and I have learned much more about Richard Nixon over the years, and I think many of us were much too harsh on him, because it's like the Democrats now, they did do the Watergate break-in. That part was true. But was it really as bad as they said it was? I mean, we look back on the last 4 years with our previous president, right? And we go, look what they did to him in 4 years. And they don't want to stop. They want to impeach him on Monday. What? Stop it already. Oh my God. Can you do that after the fact? Is that even legal? But anyway, I didn't want to go into politics, but this is how nutty it is. Hey, he's gone. Drop it. Leave it already, you know? So, but anyway, um, so, but the feeling and everything of like, because there were race riots, I mean, real race riots. And, you know, the stuff that's going on now ain't no picnic. But these folks, you know, were in Portland the other day and walking down the street and all this stuff. Oh my God. If they had done that back in the 60s, they would have been shot, killed. Otherwise, they'd have thrown hand grenades at them. You know, they would not have allowed that stuff to happen. But these were unarmed whites and blacks, you know, that were marching in solidarity, you know, for equality for all, you know, and I'm still for that. Um, and there was a comment earlier somebody had made. I was listening to something, and it was that, you know, all of the, you know, previous president's supporters are now social um, um, dissidents, and we are now considered the enemy. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. In 3 days time, I went to supporting the Constitution and these guys, to now I'm a domestic terrorist. What? Yeah. So we have to be very careful with what these crazy people. But here's the thought I was thinking. That was like, you know, it's the idiocy and the maroons, the moronic behavior. And it's like, and somehow it seems to be spreading all around. And I say, y'all stay out of it. Okay. State your position and go, well, you know, things change all the time, you know, but not since 1968 have I had this feeling of, holy crap, what's going to happen next, you know. And you'd had sort of been there during the 68 election kind of thing, after the killings and uh anyway, that everything that changed within the Democratic Party, and just stuff. And the fact that the, you know, that Nixon won, and it was crazy. Now, knock on wood, we haven't had any bang bangs that we know of. So I still don't want that. But that's how crazy they were back then. You think these people are any smarter, or, you know? So folks look at things a lot. I was listening to, I don't know who it was, but oh, it might have been Cliff High, and talking about how things are cyclical, not linear. Okay, but it looks like a line, sort of like, okay, not necessarily flat earthers, but, you know, you can see for a long way depending on your terrain in one direction, right? And then you can't see anymore. And for whatever reason, it's the curvature of the earth. You get what my point, though. So things are linear as far as you can see over the curve, or up to the curve, you know. So, but in my lifetime, and looking back and going, wow, 1968, this felt a lot like that. And the things they did, and they were this and that, and blah, 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 you know. So here we are all these years later. And there was a time with, you know, Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. There was some tiffy stuff going on then. And then, you know, the George Bush and senior, and Ross Perot, and the first election with, you know, Billy. So, you know, there has been some weird turmoil, but this is like outrageously. And, you know, I got to say it, but, you know, Hillary coming out of the woodwork and saying it's Putin's fault. You got to get, I sat back and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And I said, they are just not going to let this stuff go. They can't, they can't say something positive in the news. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the news. You know what I'm saying? They have to continue this charade, you know, woo, look at, oh my God. So, but anyway, so there's strange energies on all around. So, whether or not it's the show we picked, this reality show, you must admit, had, you know, is it time for popcorn? Up to you. But the idea is, what can we actually do except observe. And then we should be that the conscious observer in there. We need to, each of us in our own way needs to be the camp counselor to other folks who are going nuts. Because regardless of what them idiots are doing up there, I still come out here in my yard. I still come out here and go walking in my woods. I still do what I do in my local area. Now, not everybody has the same opportunity as me. I understand that. But you have to take command of your space, of your area. And if you can't, then maybe you should honestly look at, other possible solutions and do it now before they really get weird. But um, to this wondrous point, though, of the strangeness, we need to really not necessarily withdraw, but we need to stay strong in here and just go, okay, well, what are them crazy people doing over there? Okay. Ooh, wait, whoa, 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 there's somebody crazy over here. Because I think we're the only ones with sanity. Okay. I want to just go, these guys are a bunch of maroons, and they keep they're bringing up and the rhetoric, oh my god, unity, but we got to re-educate and or kill or segregate the conservatives. Unity for all of us that believe this. you know but so even those folks who voted for that are like, whoa, 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 hang on, wait a minute, I didn't know you were going to do that. hmm so it's going to be interesting to see how those folks who voted that way are going to go, what the F did I do? If you actually did, or if you actually believe that. So that's the weirdness that's in the universe, part of it anyway. But we're also getting a lot of cosmic stuff. I'm going to do another video later on. The battery is going to run out on this thing in a little bit here. But I'm going to just give you a little brief Earth wobble update right now. I'm going to check tonight when the stars come out. But early this morning, I came out, me and Duggar. I don't know where he is. He ran off. I thought I was going to be able to say, here's Duggar in the yard. But the Earth has wobbled again by, I don't know, 20 some odd degrees because a few weeks ago, looking out over this direction, Orion was in the top of this pine tree over there, okay, at night. And now it was like almost straight overhead. Now, early in the morning, because of the where the North Pole is, and things that come up in the east don't necessarily go down right in the west. It sort of goes down oddly. Okay, well, Orion was going down in the west. I mean, that's my dog, Duggar, 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 Duggar. Can y'all hold that thought? I gotta go get a dog. Duggar. Duggar. Get over here. You get your ass over here. Hey, no. Hey, buddy. I'm right. I brought my mail. It's okay. It happens. Yeah, they don't like when it comes down to graduate. Yeah, if that happens, you just call me. I'll walk over to you. It's okay. It ain't gonna be you. Yes, right next door. Yeah, I know. Come on. Come on, Dirty. Come here to me, boy. I don't even know if anybody's still here. Still alive? Here, come here. Whoa. Come here. You sit here. Now sit down. You know what you call me, boy? Look at this. Oh. And what he's been rolling in something. Duggar, you need to apologize to these folks. It was all your fault. Don't you do that now. You barking at the neighbors in their own yard. That is. Sit down. I'm gonna make him stay with me as punishment. No, sit. Don't you even do that. Sit down. All right, now go in the house. Come on. Go on. It's hard when you're training animals. Be forceful without making them mad and pissing them off and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, the neighbors, been around a while. So, but I never had a dog that went over in their yard and did what Duggar does. So, have to nip that in the bud. So, thank y'all for still hanging out. I mean, it literally ran over there. And in my old age, I'm like, well, that might be it for today. No, but I had to put him in the house, and you got to talk a little mean to him, as much as I don't like to, but it's not acceptable behavior. So I went up the hill to chase him down the hill, and he went down the hill. And as I was talking to the neighbor to come back, he had snuck around behind the sheds at the back of the hill and come back up the other side. Like, so I had to chase him down that side of the hill. But anyway, animals. So he keeps me alive, chasing after him sometimes. But in this craziness of stuff that's going around, and walking around my property and, just checking. Oh, I was going to do an earth wobble. I was in the middle of earth wobble. Right now we're having a false spring. Okay. And y'all keep an eye on this, but it's a false spring. And what I mean by that is like right now is like 68 degrees and partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, but I call it partly because the sun's actually getting through. That the amount of sunlight we're actually getting, the warmth, the other day I discussed it, and sitting in the house, this thin layer of, chemtrails in the sky. And within a few minutes, I could feel the temperature in the house drop by 10 degrees. It was amazing. And shake my fist, but what seems to be coming up though with this earth wobble and the earthquakes too, that 7.0 that hit, and there have been several others too, and there was snow in the Sahara Desert. So how can you account for certain things like that? Well, if the earth is wobbling and then coming back, right now we're getting, some kind of jet stream from out of the South Pacific and across Mexico and coming up through the Gulf and into Texas, Louisiana, and wait a minute, where's this Arctic air for us? So what this does for us at this time of the year, where everything was really cold, in the upper 20s several days, that's cold for us. Not extremely, but it's cold for us. That now that it's warmed up, I've noticed that like Plants are wanting to bloom, and certain things like there's some daffodils over there that are wanting to bloom, and it's like, no, this is January. At least they're supposed to at least wait till February. Nope. And so it's like, uh-oh, there's a bush over here that's elderberry, and they usually lose most of their leaves for the wintertime, and the elderberry are putting out leaves. No, 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 no. This is wrong. This is a false spring. Now, because we're probably going to roll back the other direction, and it'll probably get cold again. It always does. I mean, we had snow in March down here. It's been many moons ago. It was the year I got out of jail, back about 79, 80. And there was snow on the ground for a couple of days. We had planted early, 1st of March, and it snowed on March 13th, 14th, and 15th, which is for us down here. That's when you should be planting. There's no more killing frost. It snowed, killed all the gardens, killed a lot of stuff that year. So, but now, because it was so warm early and everything like that, I was like, well, we won't have another cold snap. Well, one year in May, me and a friend of mine went to North Georgia to go camping, and there was this really weird, this was in the 80s, and went up there, and it was the 1st of May, and there were blizzards in North Georgia and southern Tennessee along the Appalachians up there. And it got so cold up there that it froze the water in our canteens. I mean, froze. Not a little ice, I mean, froze. So, but anyway, and he was not prepared, by the way. We never went camping together again anyway. So, unprepared. But so, I have experienced weird weather myself, in Georgia and other places, but mostly down here in the South. I can't speak of the Midwest and so forth, but I have relatives in Ohio, and they talk about me, it snowed, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, but this Earth wobble thing, Orion and the whole constellation was way high overhead, where it should have been normally, about from overhead, maybe 20 degrees south, from straight overhead. But anyway, or a little more. But it was like lost in the oak tree, so I couldn't even see Orion until I walked up this one. And it was like, we have wobbled again since about a week ago. So it's not just the sun or the moon or whatever, but when entire, constellations move overhead, from this position to that position and then back, something's going on. So, I've listened to Pastor Paul Begley, especially when Mike from Around the World is on, and there's some interesting information that he gives, usually on his Thursday evening shows, live streams on YouTube. And that, the 5 waves of energy and all this other kind of stuff. But there's, they've been predicting that we're going to go through, and they did this several years ago, we would be going through dust storms of asteroids and meteors and that kind of thing, right? Space dust, and some of it rather large. So just the other day, several of near Earth objects, NEAs as they're called for short, buzzed past the Earth. Now, some of these things are like, 0.7 lunar distances. Well, the moon's a long way away. So 0.7 means it's not quite, it's between us and the moon. No, when they start saying, we could see it in the upper atmosphere, those are close. All right. 0.7, that's 150,000, 200,000 miles away. That's not really close to me if it's a space rock the size of a bus. Not to say, but they want to overemphasize how close it is. Okay, let's just say, woo, this one was on this side of the moon from us. But here's the thing, they have increased, and this space dust has increased. Today, earlier, or yesterday, but I mean, within the last 12, 24 hours, we've had another, solar eruption off the sun. So there's a lot of activity going on in lots of different ways. So we could say it's humanity and the energy that humanity's giving off, along with the interaction with Mother Earth. Well, for the last 2 days, if you check the Schumann resonance, it's been really kind of quiet. But there's a lot of background noise, I call it, versus straight up and down. It's linear this way on their chart, but it's all the way down off the chart. There are these hums if the background, that you see, and the battery's probably going to be going. But anyway, I didn't want to spend the actually, I would love to spend the afternoon with you, but I'm going to try to mix some concrete and do a couple of things. But I did want to get on here and just say, listen, everybody, we are all, this corny phrase, we are all in this together. That's absolutely true. So those folks that I still trust to listen to, and we're basically coming up with the same um, solution, maybe to this, is to just be neutral, keep an eye on this crazy stuff and where it's going to go. But if we involve ourselves in the chaos, it just adds to the chaos. Now, that on an energy level just simply makes sense to me. So if we keep our weird energies out of it, and recently I have chosen to laugh at these SOBs, okay? As they say down here in the South, them some bitches, I'm gonna keep an eye on them some bitches. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep an eye on them some bitches. All over the place. I mean, I can't believe Hillary come out and talk about it must be Putin. It must be Putin. I'm like, the election's over, stuff's done. Why they're bringing in the Russians again? Holy crap. I was like, oh my God, this, this reality show, as crazy as it is, it's like, wow, that they did that in episode 9, sort of like watching The Simpsons over or something. They did this in episode 9. Look what they did. So they're going in circles. That's the thing that Cliff High was talking about the other day in one of his videos about the things are cyclical in cycles. And yes. And so in this, whatever 29,000 years, whatever the other cycle is in the universe, we are actually physically going through it. The age of Aquarius, and the Earth and the solar system is going, past the midline. This is all true stuff. So, and how it affects us, nobody left notes, you know what I mean, that lasted. So you and me, we're guinea pigs for this. And for many of us, we volunteered for this shit. So, it's like, what? Next time I'm going to read that damn contract a little closer. But with all the craziness that's going on, though, I don't think I would trade this. I'm glad I'm here, whatever the craziness is, because it's like, holy crap. In the universe, where are we going to get like this planet-wide weirdness, that everybody's aware of? Somebody are not paying attention, but for those of us who are paying attention, holy crap, this is like the Empire Strikes Back in 3 or 4 series. Only, I don't know what the next episode is going to bring, but it's like now that we're considered domestic terrorists, I can't believe that they're already pumping that shit, and strong too, boy. Ooh. So we have to be careful with what we say. Don't put anything that'll piss somebody off in the title of something. Be careful what you write in your comment section or my comment section or what, be very careful with what you put in, because these folks are watching. I went and purchased a Haynes book online, for example, 2 or 3 days ago, so I could fix my truck. Couldn't find my book, right? No, and after I bought it, then I found the book. That always does. But here's the thing. Ever since I went to Haynes books, automotive kind of thing, every time I open up certain places, like my local television station to check the radar, Guess what? Hanes commercials for the books or banners at the top. Now, I've never seen one of these banners before until I purchased a book from an online book. So now everywhere I go, buy another book. Here's these commercials because whatever is popping up on the screen is popping up because of my search history and what I've done. Come on now. You know, too many things like that are happening. So you say, well, they're not really watching me. Oh, yes, they are. Now, whether or not they're really paying any attention to me, the video the other day when it quit, the comment section went and then the video went out. I was like, well, they must be listening. So, but anyway, make your plan, whatever that plan is. I plan on getting my truck. I got to change the gas filter still. But didn't want to do it in the rain, right? So, and now I want to go get some more concrete. And now that it's going to be, in upper 60s, lower 70s the next few days, is going to be perfect for doing concrete. And I'll be able to put up another row or two of brick out on the outside of this thing and start putting some, I say finishing touches. It's a long way from being finished, but But in my defense, I had to spend another day ripping out roots and stuff over here that I thought I was done digging that crap out, and it's been a real chore. So for folks, I'm gonna make a little noise with the stumple. But you can see down here where I cut the roots off, and there's a bunch of them all along this edge here, down there. And so, and all of the roots that are back up there and where you can see those things in the background there, there's still more roots and everything in there. So I am not done by any stretch of the imagination with the root situation, but that was one of my issues. And well, I was going to show you how close that tree is. Oops, sorry about the. It's like 15 feet away. And there's a big, if you can see over there by that bucket, at the end of that bucket, the green bucket and the gray bucket, that's the root from that tree right there. And I had to cut it out from around the foundation. And what it had done is it growed up to the foundation and along the foundation. So anytime it rained really hard, it would soak down in there and seep in through my floor and flood my kitchen. And a couple of weeks ago, when we had that big 4 or 5 inch rain, 5-inch rain, the kitchen flooded again, So it's like, I really want to fix this issue so my kitchen will quit flooding. It's too much water and too much moisture in the house and that kind of thing. So, and also, and that was one of the major reasons for doing this porch and making it, we'll find out how much of a greenhouse it is, but I got plants in my house now, so I'm sure I'm going to put plants in here. That's not an issue, but how much of a production greenhouse kind of thing, but it will be. So, but anyway, with that said though, the reason I'm going to all this trouble is to dig further down from my current foundation, so my kitchen will quit flooding. That's the whole purpose of this. But in the meantime, I'm going to put all the cement here, and I'm going to I got all the materials for this for the porch and for the greenhouse. So why not, right? But it's taken a lot more time than I thought it was. Not necessarily materials, but a lot more time in digging, and them damn roots are a pain in the ass. I'm telling you, especially at my age. But personally, I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm hoping that I get it done soon. I was hoping to get it done before, March, but that might not necessarily be the case because I'm still digging. I'm still chopping damn roots, I really thought I was done with that, and all I had to do was level it and pour concrete. So, but I live for another day. I might get real ambitious here this evening and pour the last 3 bags of cement that I got and get that out of the way. And or either that or change the. I really, I really need some more cement. But anyway, so to those of you this afternoon, take heart in your own life, and every day, as old Doc Miller says, the crazy physicist, that we can change the movie anytime we want to. So when the craziness gets too crazy, shut it off. Quit talking about it. Now I've talked around it, but only in that, look how crazy this stuff is. Come on, be serious. Let's laugh at them. Yeah, I was laughing so hard at some of this mundane stuff and it should piss me off. It really should. But I'm like, I can't believe these maroons, these crazy morons, that they really believe this stuff. Okay. That's weird. Anyway, we had some loud booms too around here. I mean, earth booms, and I'm local. I don't know what they are though, but they've been around the last few days. Felt another one early this morning. Just boom. Anyway, I don't know if we have any underground bases around here, but actually we do. The one in Thomasville, and it's on the list. You can check it out. 37,000 square feet underground. Yep, FEMA camp. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we got them around here. I often wondered why they closed Southwestern State Hospital, which sits on top of the underground base in Thomasville. But there's still a lot of activity that's going on at that hospital. So, I mean, I was there just before they closed it. So I almost had frequent flyer miles, at the state hospital there in Thomasville. But they closed it due to budget. But then why are all these people still there? And the FEMA camp thing underground is right beside it. And you think of 37,000 square feet underground, really, and it's like, it's 20 miles from here or less. So anyway, yeah, there's some weird stuff around here. Thus some strange energies as well. But to the point though, am I worried about them coming to get me to throw me in the loony bin again? Not really. I don't know. I know that I could hide from them. But because I don't think they'd want to chase me into the swamp. But, I would have to come out eventually, I guess. And that would be my, downfall in that, well, he came out of the woods, get him, So, but to use resources and stuff like that is just, in my opinion, mundane and stupid and all that stuff. Of course, they did bust me with a helicopter that time, and pissed off the governor. That's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and oh man, go, But anyway, I love you all. Please be safe. Please keep in mind that there are galactic things going on. I just don't mean spaceships, but I mean just energies. And our magnetosphere is low around the Earth. Nobody knows what these energies are doing to us. But many folks are making the claim that it's going to change our DNA, and this is part of this ascension process, the transformation from 3D, 4D, 5D. So, how much of that is actually true? I don't know. But there is something inside of me that says something's going on. That is a for sure thing that I personally can say something's going on. I don't know what it is, not quite sure. But I'm going to be that compassionate observer and go, what are the clowns on both sides up to? Let's watch the show and keep out of the chaos as much as we possibly can. We can have discussions with people, but let's stay out of the realm of arguing. It's going to be tough, but it's going to show our strength to those who said, well, see, we were right and you were wrong. Yeah, we can't say a damn thing about that, can we? So we're just going to say, well, our information was bad, and whatever we thought was going on. It's like, everybody gets fooled once in a while. Okay, let's go with that. But at the same time, I'm still going to be strong in my spiritualness. I'm still going to be strong in who I am and what I've learned up to this point. And obviously, we haven't learned enough because this is going on. So, let's watch the show. Let's keep our heads down where we need to. Let's stay out of the friction. Let's please, Jesus, don't start any, friction. There's enough already out there. So that's what we can do. Maintain our sanity. And let's laugh. Come on. You got to admit, we've gotten ourselves into some funny damn times. And it's going to be interesting how we wade out of this. It just is. So, I'm going to go in and feed the dog and pet him because he thinks I'm really mad at him because I put him in the house, which in a way I am. Christy, how are you? With Capable Man Works with and creating. I honestly can't read that. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Mossy Man, how are you? Barry, Chad, Chrissy, I honestly can't read that. Loretta, hi there again. So, but anyway, it says I've been here an hour and 10 minutes and the battery is almost out. So, Christy, I can't see it because of the thing, and I'm going to have to go in the house, and and I've got the wrong glasses on. I can't read it. So, but no offense to anybody, I honestly can't read the chat. I can see your names barely. But so I just want to say, have a good Saturday, the rest of it, and the weekend. Be safe, everybody, wherever you may be. And I honestly do continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. Thank you, John, for my presence. Thank you, Rob, for the fish. I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, all of your relatives, and all of your relations, past, present, and to come, will continue to learn how to accept and receive all of the healing, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the blessings that are in the universe. And in that law of three, that seems to be still free, I'm going to make a poem at the end of this thing, make a rhyme. But anyway, I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept, receive, and to continue sharing what you know. Because each of us are individuals, make up the whole. I continue to pray that you all will continue to accept and receive and share the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. So, cosmic hugs, everybody. TTFN. I'm going to go pet the dog and get some dinner and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to stop in this afternoon and just give you a little bit of update here of what's going on here at the Hermitage a little bit. And if I could walk around with the camera and the computer and everything, I would. I'd show you a little more. But it's been mostly a mess that I'm cleaning up. And I keep making messes like cutting trees down. But, it's all coming together. And it's not like I'm in a hurry for any particular thing, but I would really like to get this greenhouse done before spring so I can get some plants in. But anyway, I love you all. Be safe, be kind, and, be sweet. So from South Georgia, TTFN, find this thing. Can continue to send out them hugs, everybody. It's needed in the universe. Cheers.